So today we're going to cut back the herbaceous border with the long-handled hedge trimmer, because I find it a lot easier with, you've got dodgy legs or hips. It saves having to bend down and grovel in the flower borders. So we're going to take all of this down to about, I don't know, about 3 inches, 7.5 centimetres from the ground, just so we can still see where the plants are. It's also a good time to divide some of these plants, because these have crept forward a long way. They're now at the front of the borders, whereas they started off at the back. And then you can see down there, but then there's lavender, which has been a bit sort of adversely affected by the herbaceous perennials. But we'll give those a trim back and they'll come back nicely. We'll just take those back to the greenery. We won't take them back any further, because otherwise we'll just end up with dead brown blobs of dead lavender. With the herbaceous borders, there's no reason at all why you shouldn't leave them upright to their full height and glory through the winter, because sometimes they look nice with the frost and the snow on them, and also all the bugs and things that fly into them make a natural food source for the birds. But a lot of people like to cut them down to the ground because it just makes the garden tidier. Right, so it's about mid-November now. We're going to chop these back down to the ground about 3 inches or 75 mil from the ground, just so you can see where the plants are. A bit of noise, a bit of chopping. As you see, that's a lot quicker and a lot easier to cut a large area down. And what I'll do is I'll rake all those up together and I'll heap them up in a big pile and leave them on the border, which looks a bit messy, but then it leaves somewhere for the hedgehogs and all the bugs and bits and pieces to enjoy the winter, and then the birds have a natural food source, as do the hedgehogs. There we are, there's the scene of utter devastation which I've created. So now what I'm going to do is to rake those up, put them in a big heap, leave them on the flower border, let them rot down, let the goodness from the plants go back into the soil, and then all the bugs and hedgehogs etc. can live underneath during the winter. It's amazing, whenever I bring the camera out it all seems to become very windy. Nothing to do with me, but anyway, hey ho. So this is the herbaceous border. It's all been cut back hard to the ground near enough, and then we've piled it all up in a big heap, and that'll rot down over the winter, and come the spring we'll just clear that away to the recycling department. That thing gives a nice little habitat for the hedgehogs and the bugs and beasties and beetles and things to hide away and grow, and then there'll be a nice natural food supply for the birds. Along here we've got the Idcut lavender, which struggled a bit because of the herbaceous border crept closer and closer towards it, and we're just going to cut those sort of dead looking bits off, and just make sure you don't cut back any further than the green, because you need to leave the green on, otherwise you're just going to end up with dead brown stumpy bits of lavender, which you're then just going to have to rip out and replace. so we don't want that. Right, so on with the edge trimmer. We're just going to cut back the dead bits of the lavender. Lavender has definitely suffered from the herbaceous plants, so we'll see how it comes back. If it doesn't, we'll maybe move it to another position or take it out and replace it with some new bits and pieces.
Hi guys, and just to say a very big worldwide thank you to all those people who have supported the site that I set up in lockdown. We have now had over 70,000 views. And if you can continue to support that or subscribe to JJ Goes Forth, I will be able to, no doubt, donate more money to Acorns Children's Hospice Worcester and Mind. So I'm now sending a transfer of £360 to Acorns Children's Hospice in Worcester. The extra £10 there thanks to Ray, and £350 to Mind. So thank you very much indeed to all those worldwide who have supported JJ Goes Forth. Please subscribe, and once the videos start making money, 30% of what I raise, so 30% of any money raised from my videos will be divided equally between Acorns Children's Hospice Worcester and Mind. So thank you very much indeed. Stay safe, stay warm, and thank you.